Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Myself Brinda Patel. I am Assistant Professor in Computer Engineering Department at Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology. Topic of the video is Introduction to Image Processing and about Digital Image Processing. Of the subject Image Processing. So in this we are going to discuss about what is image processing and methods of image processing as well as about digital image processing. So let's start with the introduction of the image processing. So image processing is a method to perform some operations on an image in order to get an enhanced image or to extract some useful information from it, like image pixel size and image resolution, etc. So we can say that image processing is any form of processing for which the input is an image or a series of images or videos such as photographs or frames of videos. So output of the image processing can be either an image or a set or characteristics or parameters related to the image. It is a type of signal processing in which input is an image and output may be image or characteristics or features associated with that image. So nowadays image processing is among rapidly growing technologies because the processing of images are faster and more cost effective, which needs less time for processing as well as less film and other photographing equipments. It is more ecological, means natural to process the images. It forms core research area within engineering and computer science disciplines too. So image processing includes 3 steps: importing the image via image acquisition tools. Image acquisition tools are used in MATLAB software, which is widely used for performing image processing. Second is analyzing and manipulating the image. Image analysis is the extraction of meaningful information from images, mainly from digital images by means of digital image processing techniques. Basic image manipulation using offline or open source applications. So photos editing and designing tools allow you to manipulate or edit the images, apply effects, filters, add frames, crop and text, change background color, make photo collage and photo album that you would like to do in an image. Third is output, in which result can be altered image or report that is based on image analysis. So there are 2 types of methods are used for image processing. First is analog and second one is digital. Currently, digital image processing is used the most. Now let's look at the analog image processing. So analog image processing can be used for the hard copies like printouts and photographs. Analog image in remote sensing, an image in which continuous variation in the scene being sensed is represented by the continuous variation in image tone, such as image produced from photosensitive chemicals in a photographic film. Image analysts use various fundamentals of interpretation while using these visual techniques. Next is digital image processing. Digital image processing techniques help in manipulation of the digital images by using computers using some relevant tools. A digital image is a representation of a real image as a set of numbers that can be stored and handled by a digital computer. So digital image processing has many advantages over analog image processing. It allows a much wider range of algorithms to be applied to the input data and can avoid problems such as build-up of noise and distortion during processing. In 3 general phases that all type of data must undergo while using digital techniques, which are pre-processing, enhancement and display the information extraction. Now let's see about digital image processing. So what is image? An image is nothing more than a 2-dimensional signal. It is defined by the mathematical function fxy, where x and y are the two coordinates horizontally and vertically. So x and y are spatial coordinate. The amplitude of f at any pair of coordinates xy, which is called the intensity or gray level of the image at that point. The values of f x y at any point, it gives the pixel value at that point of the image. So x, y and f are all finite and discrete quantities. If x, y and the amplitude values of f are finite and discrete quantities, we can call that image as a digital image. A digital image is composed of a finite numbers of elements called pixels, each of which has a particular location and value. Now the digital camera is invented at 1975, but it didn't produce the first digital photograph. First digital photograph is taken back in 1957 when Russell Kirch made 176 by 176 pixel digital image by scanning a photograph of his own son. So this is the first digital image ever taken. As we can see in this image, consider this image to be 2D function or a matrix with rows and columns. In the 8-bit representation, pixel intensity value changes between 0 and 225. So here 0 indicates the black color and 225 indicates the white color. So we can see this pixel here. So this is the pixel location which is at f11 and its pixel intensity value is 103. Pixel intensity value is the primary information stored within pixels. It is the most popular and important feature used for classification. Now remember, digitization indicates that the digital image approximates at a real scene. In this image you can see one pixel by magnifying the image. Now in this image, in every image indicate the different image processing with original image itself. Some of the processes are RGB to gray, blurring edging of image. Now next is source of digital image. So the principal source for the images is the electromagnetic energy spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum is generally divided into 7 regions in order of decreasing wavelength and increasing energy and frequency. The common designations are radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays and gamma rays. Images based on radiation from the electromagnetic spectrum are the most familiar, especially images in the X-ray and visual bands of the spectrum. So the bands are shown shaded to convey the fact that bands of the EM spectrum are not distinct but rather transition smoothly from one to one another. The below image is of the electromagnetic spectrum. Now the next is gamma rays. So major use of imaging based on gamma rays include nuclear medicine and astronomical observations. In nuclear medicine, the approach is to inject a patient with radioactive isotope that emits gamma rays as it decays. Images are produced from the emission collected by gamma ray detectors. The commonly accepted definition of the gamma ray and X-ray regions of the electromagnetic spectrum include some wavelength overlap, with gamma ray radiation having wavelengths that are generally shorter than a few tens of 10 raised to minus 10 meter, and gamma ray photons having energies that are greater than tens of the thousands of electron volts. There is no theoretical upper limit to energies of gamma ray photons and no lower limit to gamma ray wavelengths. Observed energies presently extended up to the few trillion electron volts. Thus extremely high energy photons are produced in the astronomical sources through currently unidentified mechanisms. So these are the main example of taking digital image using the gamma rays. First one is gamma ray imaging Cherenkov telescope, which is taken by the Cherenkov telescope. Second image shows another major modality of nuclear imaging called positron emission tomography. The principle is the same as with X-ray tomography. Third image is a gamma ray imaging of a starburst galaxy about 12 million light years away. Now the next is X-rays. X-ray electromagnetic radiation of extremely short wavelength and high frequency, with wavelengths ranging from about 10 raised to minus 8 to 10 raised to minus 12 meter, and corresponding frequencies from about 10 raised to 16 to 10 raised to 20 Hz. X-rays are among the oldest source of electromagnetic radiation used for imaging. The best known use of X-ray is medical diagnostics, as well as it is widely used for diagnostic bones of body, but they also used extensively in industry and other areas like astronomy. X-rays for medical and industrial imaging are generated using an X-ray tube, which is a vacuum tube with a cathode and anode. Here we can see two main images. In the one in right is X-ray images from the space taken at Chandra X-ray Observatory, and in the left it has 5 individual images from the book. So in that, figure A shows a familiar chest X-ray generated simply by placing the patient between an X-ray source and a film sensitive to X-ray energy. The intensity of the X-ray is modified by absorption as they pass through the patient, and the resulting energy falling on the film develops it, much in the same way that light develops photographic film. So in digital radiography, digital images are obtained by one of the two methods. First is by digitizing X-ray films, or second is by having the X-rays that pass through the patient fall directly onto the devices, that is after convert X-rays to the light. The light signal in turn is captured by a light sensitive digitizing system. So figure B shows an example of an aortic angiogram. The catheter can be seen being inserted into the large blood vessel on the lower left of the picture. Figure C shows a typical head CAT slice image, and figure D shows an X-ray image of an electronic circuit board. Such image is representative of literally hundreds of industrial applications of X-rays are used to examine circuit boards for flaws in manufacturing, such as missing components or broken traces. Now let us move to the next slide, which is of ultraviolet images. So ultraviolet images include lithography, industrial inspection, microscopy, lasers, biological imaging, and astronomical observations. Ultraviolet light is used in fluorescence microscopy, one of the fastest growing areas of the microscopy. So there are the example images of the ultraviolet imaging. Figure A and B show results typical of the capability of fluorescence microscopy. Figure A shows a fluorescence microscope image of a normal corn, and figure B shows corn infected by smut, a disease of cereals, corn, grasses, onions, and sorghum that can be caused by any of more than 700 species of parasitic fungi. Figure C shows the Cygnus loop imaged in the high energy region of the ultraviolet band. Now the next is visible light. So considering that the visual band of electromagnetic spectrum is the most familiar in all our activities, so we know that the image has main three colors known as RGB, which is red, green and blue. From these three color combination, every color combination is possible in an image. So every color has its own wavelength. So let's see the wavelength of these colors. So visible blue color has the wavelength of 0.45 to 0.52 micrometer. Visible green color has the wavelength of 0.52 to 0.60 micrometer, and the red color has a wavelength of 0.63 to 0.69 micrometers. So in this slide we can see the images which is made of RGB, and the objects are regular objects which we can see in the day-to-day life, as we can see a cat with separate RGB. So next is the infrared. There is a major area of visual processing which is a remote sensing, which usually includes infrared region of the electromagnetic spectrum. Infrared lights are mostly used in night vision cameras in any TV remotes. So you can see some of the infrared lights. If you notice any CCTV camera which have LEDs around it, that cameras are enabled with night vision. That LEDs are sometimes can be seen through bare eyes. Or if you want to see any infrared light, you can see it through your mobile camera or through TV remote control. Focus on remote control front towards the camera and press any button of the remote. You can see the remote control LED blinking as you press any button. So infrared light is also used for astronomical purposes. Infrared lights are used to capture thermal images. So here you can see the thermal images of dog and the snake. It is taken using the infrared light. So you can check the temperature at the bar from the intensity of the color. And the second image shows the Messier 51 galaxy in ultraviolet region, visual region, and in infrared region. Now the next is microwaves. The dominant application of imaging is in the microwave radar. The unique feature of imaging radar is its ability to collect data over virtually any region at any time, regardless weather or ambient lighting conditions. Some radar waves can penetrate clouds, and under the certain conditions can also see through vegetation, ice and dry sand. So in many cases, radar is the only way to explore inaccessible regions of the Earth's surface. Microwaves are used in aircraft to get better idea of the surface and to capture an image of a geographical situations. Like in the left picture, spaceborne radar taken image of mountains in the southeast Tibet. And microwave radar can also be helpful for the army purposes. Now the next is radio wave. So major application of radio wave imaging is in medicine and astronomy. In medicine, radio waves are used in magnetic resonance imaging, which is also known as MRI. This technique places a patient in a powerful magnet and passes radio wave through his or her body in short pulses. MRI images are captured by the radio waves. This image shows us the MRI image of the brain. MRI imaging are used for locating the tumor. The tumor is located as a different color in this image. The digital image is based on the electromagnetic spectrum. So as we see before, every spectrum can be used for different purposes. A Krebs pulsar is captured with every electromagnetic spectrum waves. In every spectrum, we can see and detect different informations. So Krebs pulsar is a relatively young neutron star. So this is an example showing imaging in all of the bands. Now other imaging modalities. We discussed about the images using electromagnetic spectrum, but there is another ways to capture an images, which is using sound waves, electron microscopy and computer generated. So image using sound finds application in geological exploration, industry and in medicine. Geological applications use sound in the low end of the sound spectrum, which is in hundreds of hertz. So while imaging in other areas are ultrasound, which is in the millions of hertz. The most important commercial application of image processing in geology are in mineral and oil exploration. The most common usage of ultrasound imaging is in the medicine, especially in observation where unborn babies are imaged to determine the health of their developments. Now the ultrasound imaging. Here we can see the ultrasonic spectrum. The green portion is in the is the infrasound. The sound which has frequency lower than 20 Hz is known as infrasound. Then the blue portion is acoustic band. Frequency between 20 Hz to 20 kHz is known as the acoustic band. This band is audible to the humans. The yellow spectrum is known as ultrasound. Frequency is higher than 20 kHz is known as the ultrasound. In the bottom you can see the ultrasound image of an unborn baby, and beside that the device through which the image is captured.